Today we will see Plato's theory of Philosopher King. Friends, have you ever wondered why even a country with a good laws sometimes fail to deliver justice? Plato believed the problem was not always the law. The real problem was the people who govern the state. Plato witnessed the failure of Athenian democracy. Leaders were often chosen because they were popular speakers rather than wise decision makers. Politics became driven by emotions and public opinion instead of reason. His faith in democracy was further shaken when his teacher Socrates was sentenced to death. Plato believed this was not just the death of philosopher, it was the failure of entire political system. This led Plato to ask one important question. If ordinary ruler make wrong decisions, then who should govern the state? His answer was the philosopher king. In this lecture, we will understand who the philosopher king is, why Plato believed philosophers should rule, and how he prepared them for leadership. Now, let's begin with the meaning of philosopher king. For Plato, a philosopher is not someone who only studies book. A philosopher is a person who genuinely loves wisdom and constantly searches for truth. Such a ruler is guided by reason rather than emotion or personal desire. Every decision is taken after careful thinking and logical analysis. Unlike ordinary rulers who may chase popularity, the philosopher king remained committed to truth even when it is difficult to or unpopular. Most importantly, he governed not for personal power, wealth, or fame, but for the common good of entire society. That is why Plato famously said, until philosopher become kings or king becomes philosopher, there will be no end to the troubles of state. Now, obvious question is, why philosopher? Plato believed that philosophers understand what is truly good for society. They can distinguish between temporary benefits and long-term welfare. Ordinary rulers often make decisions based on public opinion or political pressures. A philosopher king, however, follow truth instead of opinion. Now let's see reason over emotions. His decisions are guided by reason, not by anger, fear, or emotions. This allows him to think objectively in every situation. As a result, every decision aims to establish justice and promote welfare of all citizens, not just a particular group. This is why Plato considered philosopher the most suitable ruler. Plato did not believe that anyone could become a ruler overnight. The future ruler first undergo years of physical, moral, or intellectual education. After this, he studies dialectics, which develop the ability to think logically, ask questions, and discover the truth through reasoning. Even after completing his education, Plato insists that the future ruler must spend about 15 years in administrative and military services. This gives him practical experience in governing society. Only after proving both knowledge and experience, philosophers become eligible to rule the ideal state. Now let's see the qualities of philosopher king. Plato believed that political power should be given only to the people with strong moral character. A ruler must possess wisdom to make the right decisions. He should have the courage to stand for justice even in difficult situations. He must control his desire and never misuse political power for personal benefit. Honesty and integrity are the essential because public trust depend on ruler's character. Above all, every action of the philosopher king must aim at the welfare of society rather than his own interest. Let's quickly revise today's lecture. Plato proposed the philosopher king after witnessing the failure of the Athenian democracy. According to him, the ideal ruler is not the richest or the most popular person, but the wisest one. The philosopher king possesses wisdom, reason, moral character, and practical experience. His objective is not power but justice and common good. In the next lecture, we will explore even more interesting question. Should such a wise ruler be above the law? We will examine Plato's famous statement, no law or ordinance can be mightier than knowledge, along with Aristotle's criticism and Plato's later changes in the laws. Thank you for watching. If you found this lecture helpful, do share it with your fellow aspirants. Thank you. Now I will see you in the next lecture.